That is why my mental health was in shambles, because I did not have a break. I didn't have time to regroup myself. I had to keep going. I just ran a 3 fucking year marathon, and now you're telling me to sprint a fucking rat race? What's up, Royal Court? It's your girl, King Chris, and I am back with another video.
East Coast, always in me, Commonwealth, Lil Jump, getting love from my city. Yeah. I roll call for the DMV. In my own lane, you could still ride with me. Yeah.
No one knows I made mistakes.
You won't in, but it's too late.
I don't need your support just to know I'm important.
I won't ever sell myself short.
I literally get so geeked up saying my intro all the time because it's so near and dear to me. It's been such a long time on this journey. I've been a content creator now, officially in my official capacity as a content creator for 5 years, and it just doesn't get old to me. Like, it's not lost on me that this is not an easy journey. This is a journey that requires a lot of time, dedication, and effort, and it's not like a quick fix by any means. And I have always treated creating content like my safe space, like a place that I can come to and just show up fully for myself, but also for anybody else who needs that same type of, what's the word, reverence. I'm pretty sure that's the word. Let's look it up. Yes, reverence. So I just want this corner of the internet to be a safe space for anybody who finds my channel, and I hope that if you're new here, you stay true to this. You even if you're new to this, you can stay true to this. That's my saying on this channel. But if you're not new to this and you are true to this, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's been so long. I cannot believe it's literally, as I'm filming it, it's December 6th, and we are not doing Vlogmas this year, you guys. And that within itself has been so difficult to live with, because I think because I set myself up for expectations, and I have a standard for myself, and when I'm not able to meet those needs that I have of myself and no one else requires this of me, it's a little disappointing, and I tend to be hard on myself, but I also need to be mindful that, I'm sorry, I'm moving so much stuff around because yesterday I was on live on TikTok. Yeah, so much stuff has happened, so much stuff has changed. We have to talk, but yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. When I'm not able to meet those expectations, those deadlines, those goals that I set for myself, I tend to be hard on myself. But I'm in this season and have been in this season for the last 3 years, and you guys will see that so soon. I promise you, I'm actually in the works of editing the vlogs for real. I feel like I've been saying that for 3 years, and I promise you something comes up every single time. And I've been feeling lately, no, I don't care what comes up this time. We're gonna fucking figure it out, and we're gonna get it done. And I have a whole system structured around doing that. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. No more disclaimers, no more I missed you guys. I can't wait to be back on the channel consistently, and hopefully this is the first of many videos you're going to be seeing in December. And let's get into it. So today we're going to be doing our makeup. I have an appointment for my ADHD testing, and that is in an hour and a half. So we have an hour because it takes me 30 minutes to get to where I'm going. To catch up and chit chat. Am I gonna be able to do that? I don't know, but challenge accepted. Okay, our eyebrows are done, and we can get to talking now. One more disclaimer before I get to talking. I definitely did not want to record this video right now because I am literally in a time crunch, and this could easily be a long ass video, but also I guess we're gonna have to make it short and sweet. We're gonna have to get to the point. But y'all know I like to yap. Y'all know if y'all came into this channel, it's the Yapper's Corner. And I want this video to serve as a proper update about where I've been, where I'm going, and what to expect with my channel. Because we getting serial about it around here. Okay. So, where have I been? Oh my God, I've been in hiding. I'm not gonna lie. I've been in pure hibernation. I've been in hermit mode. I've been like, I mean, in real time, not just like where I've been on my channel. I mean, right now, as of December 6th, 2024, I have been on a social media hiatus. Up until like the month of December, I want to say, I was just taking a big break even from TikTok, and TikTok is kind of where my calm medium. Like YouTube, I'm known to like obviously not really fully show up. Instagram, I'm like always posting on there like normally. And TikTok is the happy medium where like I don't feel no pressure to post, but there's also it's also therapeutic when I post on there, because it's like almost like I almost feel like creating content for my YouTube, or Instagram doesn't feel that way. Or at least that's how I use my TikTok. I use my TikTok as a precursor for my YouTube videos. Like a lot of my TikTok videos are a clip from a clip in a day, like a shot in time in a day from my longer form content. So I've just been on a hiatus, honestly, and just taking a break because my mental health was in shambles, and lowkey still is, but we're getting it together. We're doing a whole lot better. Obviously, if I'm recording, it's because I'm feeling a whole lot better. Otherwise, I would have started this video telling you, yeah, I'm still feeling pretty, unsure of my mental capabilities, but we're getting a hold of things. At least I hope so. I'm on my way to get a proper ADHD diagnosis, as I said earlier in this video. That's why we only have an hour to chit chat. I think that that's gonna solve a lot of my issues, because what I'm experiencing right now is something I've never experienced in 30 years. And I think that my ADHD is really it's like really catching up with me, because I've been operating in a state of burnout for quite some time. And so what's happening is that I have hit a functional freeze where it's not even like I'm having depressive episodes, but it's caused by my ADHD burnout. Like it's not, if I have the capacity and the willpower to get the simple things done in my life, I will not be feeling as burnt out, or as depressed, I mean, because I'm burnt out, and because I don't have the capacity and the energy to do the things that I need to do to keep up my like daily life, it's starting to exacerbate my depressive episodes, and therefore causing me to go on hiatus. So I think getting a hold of my ADHD is definitely going to help a lot with my mental health. Yeah, that's kind of where I've been. I've been on a little hiatus. I've been hiding from the world. It's not that I was hiding you from the world. I was hiding the world from you. I've been trying to protect my mental health and my peace because I have very little of it. And so, I don't know, just kind of have not been in the mood to show up and show out lately. So that's where I have been in real time. If you follow me on other platforms, or if you know me in real life and you're just wondering what the hell happened to her. Yeah, life has been happening, and I have decided to just really prioritize my mental health in this season, and starting to take care of my mind, my garden. Also, I was starting to feel like anxious about posting on Instagram, and I'm just like, I don't need to feel anxious. I just don't need to post. So I stopped posting altogether and been in a little hiatus. But what to expect with the channel? So as far as the channel is concerned, I am in the works of getting out the 2022 vlogs out, and I'm going to be posting like the dates, and the details and the description are all going to be like very clear and easy to follow. I will also end up making just playlists, so it's a lot easier to just track. But we're going back in time. We are indeed. I am not playing. Part of the reason why I was like, we're getting this video done now is because I know that today is a very busy day, and I don't want another week in December to go by without me having made this video and just explaining, giving a little life update and explaining, you know, what's next in the chapters of my life and what's next as far as my content's concerned, because we're about to get very, very serious around here. So I have a whole plan dedicated on relaunching and coming back and being consistent. So you're going to see all of the 2022 vlogs come out, and then you're going to see some content here and there of real-time content, like these kind of videos. I think we're going to do a lot of like just chit-chats, kind of like maybe recapping what you saw like in the month before, and just explaining in case things were not clear, or just having like, you know, a little catch-up sesh, like things like that. I think for December I had a plan of doing Vlogmas originally, but that plan has changed, and we're gonna put a pin in that. I'll tell you why we're not doing Vlogmas. And it has nothing to do with the 2022 vlogs. Well, it does and doesn't, but I do want to prioritize at this moment the 2022 vlogs, because it's just been a long time in the works, a long time in the making, and that's why I feel like I have to just seize the opportunity and stop waiting for the perfect time to be able for everything to fall into line and for me to be able to show up fully for myself, because it's just, the time is now. The time is now. The time is now, honey. Like, yeah. So that being said, let's get into the life update. So as you may know, if you know me in real life, if you follow me, or if you even, I guess, go to school in California, a lot of people look up people on the bar list to see if they passed, and I did not pass the July 2024 bar. I don't know, I just heard something again. I know I live by myself, so like when I be hearing shit, I be like, but I didn't pass the July 2024 bar exam. And while a lot of people are gonna be like, oh no, save it, no, I'm okay, I'm really good, don't do that, it actually has it had no negative contribution to my mental health. I was like, one of the pieces of news that I received this year that I handled so well. I was with my family, like we were together, we banded together in that moment. They're like it's light, like we're gonna do this again, we're gonna run it back, and it's fine. I was so close. You need a 1390 to pass in California, and I got a 1322, so I'm not mad at it. Like, nobody's taking away my 1300 from me. Like, what? Are you kidding me? My mental health was in shambles. I worked a job. I was spreading myself very thin. My personal life was falling apart. And I broke 1300. Like, nobody's taking that from me. And I was only off by a few questions. So I'm really, really, like, not mad at it at all. I always joked around and said that I was going to take the bar once and once only, and whatever score I received was between me and God, because I was not taking it again. And if I passed, great. And if I didn't pass, well, great, because I wasn't going to take it again, regardless of the fact. But when I saw my score, like, it didn't hurt. I didn't crash out. I didn't have the response that I thought I would have if I knew I took the bar again, because when I saw my score, I was just so proud, which is why I don't say I failed the bar. I just didn't pass it. I don't feel like I failed. I feel like I achieved what the fuck I was meant to achieve, and that was a 1322. And I know a lot of people have their thoughts and opinions and feelings about how I handle things, because people want me to have like some type of adverse reaction, and I do have adverse reactions. This is just not one of those situations where I'm having an adverse reaction. I actually have a lot of adverse reactions. I just don't have them in the way that people want me to have them. And this is one of those moments where I'm simply not having an adverse reaction to this, because I did so good. Like, I did so well. I did my best. I literally studied as much as I could. And I don't want to say without compromising my mental health, because I very much did compromise my mental health a lot. Me and my best friend, when we were like studying for the bar, we were like, yo, if we had one more, we were at the last week of studying. And we were like, if we had one more week, like, we would 100% feel more confident and, like, ready to pass this bar exam. But, like, we're going to do our best, and we felt confident to take the exam. Like, we even felt confident when we came out the exam. And seeing our scores was very reflective of our confidence. So it does not feel like I didn't pass the bar, I feel bad for myself, or woe is me. Like, no, I feel so fucking proud. And like, that is not why I needed a mental health break or anything from social media. I just needed to regroup because I didn't realize how burnt out I had been, and just like how out of touch with myself I had been the last 3 years, really, but certainly the last 6 months. Because of, after finishing law school, jumping right into bar prep, there was no real time to regroup, regather. Like, we were just right back at it again. Like, we just finished a full semester of law school, 14 weeks of law school, and ran into another 14 weeks of law school. Like, normally we get summers off, which I think that the bar examiners should consider. But I think also it's like wanting to get people licensed and get them out and going, but like at the expense of the mental health, or change the exam altogether. I have my feelings about the bar exam, which we don't have to get into in this video because this video is already going to be long within itself. But yeah, like, what? Why are we like finishing a whole full semester of law school? Actually, if you considering it, it's been 3 years. Most people are finishing 3 years of law school, and you think that we don't need a fucking break? You think 2 weeks off is a break? Don't piss me off. Don't fucking piss me off. So that is why my mental health was in shambles, because I did not have a break. I didn't have time to regroup myself. I had to keep going. I just ran a 3 fucking year marathon, and now you're telling me to sprint a fucking rat race? Yeah. Okay, so that is why I felt how I felt. That is why I feel how I feel about the bar. I don't feel like I failed it. I just feel like I just didn't pass, and that's okay. Like, I didn't hit the mark that they wanted me to hit, but I am very fucking proud of the mark I got. And with all I had going on, like, yeah, absolutely, 1000% positively, very proud of myself. That being said, we're retaking the bar in February. Like I said, when I saw my bar exam scores, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, run it back. And my family was the same way. They're like, we're running it back. Like, we're doing it again. Like, it's okay. We literally almost got there. Like, it's nothing. We're 68 points off. We're gonna fucking get it. We're gonna mollywop that next exam, and that's period. One thing I realized when I was taking the bar, was that when we were studying for the bar, my best friend and I, when we were saying that we wish we had one more week to study, is because, like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, the bar prep course that we took, like, I'm not gonna lie, we just feel like, we felt like we wasted a lot of time. Like, there was a lot of time wasted. Like, the program just wasn't structured well. It was not structured well at all, in terms of all we had to do in the little bit of time that we had to study, after being like it just, the program just wasn't considering people just finished 3 years of law school. Like the whole process doesn't consider the fact that you've just been running on pretty much on E in law school. Because if you know, and even if you don't know personally and you know someone, and so by extension, that first year, you just never recover from it. And the second year doesn't get much better, and the third year doesn't get much better. It does get better, but not by much. Most people don't have the capacity to sit there and rewatch 18 topics worth of lecture. Again, we do have to relearn a lot of the material, because when you're in your first year, like, you really just don't speak law, so you don't really understand it. And so when you're learning it and you're passing your exams, great, but you don't have that level of understanding that you do come bar prep. So, like, literally going over property again, going over contracts again, everything made so much more sense. Like, now it's so simple in my brain, but, like, it was such a difficult concept when I was learning it first year, and so going over it again was essential. That being said, watching lectures, a lot of us in law school have ADHD. Why? I don't know. That's a phenomenon. I would love to do a study on it. I would love if somebody funded me to do this research to figure out why many of us in law school have ADHD. Is it the ADHD that brings us to law school? Is it that why we make it that far in the process? Or is it that but ADHD is genetic. So yeah, I think that law school also has a way of exasperating circumstances to where everybody literally has fucking ADHD. Like, you might have come to law school with ADHD, but you're leaving with it 10 times worse by the time you leave here. Nobody has the capacity to sit there and watch those videos, but I forced myself to watch those videos all the way through July, and that was a waste of my time. Like, it wasn't a proper use of my time. Like, my studying, my real bar prep did not begin until 2 weeks before the bar. Like, my real actual, where I was actually bar prepping. So now that I am going back into it, and I think that that's part of why I have such a positive mindset towards it, because I'm like, all my foundational principles that I built the first time taking the bar are literally so good. Like, I did a really good job of building that foundation. I just didn't have time to practice and like get shit done. Like, there's just not enough time to do that. I feel like we've been talking for 30 minutes and I haven't even gotten to the tea. Wow, this is so fucking pretty, you guys. Are you guys fucking seeing that? Are you fucking seeing that? So now that I'm like going to take the bar again, my mental health is so much better. Even going home to New York is where I realized, like, when I got the news that I didn't pass the bar, like, I entered this like trance state where I had to like kind of restructure everything I had planned, because originally I had planned to do Vlogmas and I had planned to put out the January 2022 vlogs as well. But with having to retake the bar, it was just going to be way too much. And my priority is genuinely to get out these January 2022 vlogs and all the vlogs up until like this year, because I just have this feeling I just need to get it out. Like, it just needs to come out. It's something I've been wanting to get out for a very long time, and I need to get it out. So we're doing that. And that's exactly why we're not doing Vlogmas this year, because I'm prioritizing getting those vlogs out and also resetting for the bar and taking it in February. Another good thing about me retaking the bar this time, I am not working. So I literally like have all the confidence that I need to pass the fucking bar this time. Like, I feel really good. I feel in a really good space mentally, emotionally, physically. I feel way better than I did in May. So for me, it's only up from here. And like Buster Moon says, when you hit rock bottom, there's only one place to go, and that's up. So that is that with the bar. Now let's get to the personal part, because I told you guys that like my personal life was in shambles, and honestly, the last 3 years of my life has just been like the biggest transformation ever. Like, I am literally fully stepping into who I came here to be. Yeah, I'm fully stepping into who I came here to be. Fully like stepping into my personal power and undergoing like just the biggest transformations. And I will always say this, like, the January 2022 vlogs are 1000% me going through heartbreak. And my biggest transformation happened in my heart chakra, and going through that heartbreak and learning like self-love and self-discovery and how to identify the fact that I was codependent and I was showing up in ways. And codependency is so funny because there's a spectrum that people talk about, the people pleasing side, but people don't talk about the caretaking side. And I was on the caretaking side, so I didn't even realize I had codependent tendencies. And the last 2 years just have been so transformative in terms of like just love, healing, growing, and just expanding my mind and my consciousness and my awareness and coming to who I came here to be. Like, I always had there were these little signs in my childhood growing up that let me know that lets me know now I'm exactly like who I came here to be, because there were like just little things that I was just always just very different growing up. And like, I didn't have a problem with being very different. I accepted it. I got bullied a lot growing up, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But all that to say that like, I never felt, I was always othered, but I never felt like it was a bad thing. I always felt like, yeah, I'm different, I'm unique, I'm a fucking alien, like, the fuck. And like, yeah, I'm fully, like, as an adult, stepping into that, owning it and accepting it. And I'm just so proud of the woman I'm becoming. And I have to thank my ex. on some thank you next shit, like Big Sean said. I think my ex, because that heartbreak, baby, that shit sent me into orbit and literally put me into healing generations of trauma, generations of maternal wounding in my ancestral lineage. And I just know it. But I've always known this, but I just didn't like know it, like, you know? And we can get into more of that in another video. But the 2 years of me being single, now 3, really just like, I don't know, transformed my world so much. And I genuinely say this, and I will stand by this. I think that everybody should just go through a single period where you're just truly single, like really single, like really, really single. And I was really, really single. And I'm not gonna say for the whole 3 years I wasn't dating, I wasn't talking to anybody, or I wasn't like interested in other people, because I was. But with that being said, I did go through a time of just pure solitude, and I really got to know myself, and really got to date myself, and really got to court myself, and really show up for myself in ways that, like, now when I date, I don't date from a space of needing anybody else to make me whole. I am whole on my own, and anybody who I date from this moment on is a complimentary. It's complimentary. The love is complimentary. It's not something that I need. It's just something that I can truly appreciate. And I think that when we date from a space of needing the love versus dating from a space of being able to fully accept it for what it is, you can be more detached in the outcome. And honestly, just my perspective on love has changed so much. Like, I no longer feel how I used to feel when I was dating my ex about love. Like, to me, love now, the way I see it and the way I know it and the way I experience it, is so unconditional. It's so and it was I feel like it had unconditional qualities before, but I didn't know how to love unconditionally, right? Because I was so attached to an outcome. So there was that, like, I don't feel loved if we're not together. I don't feel love if you're not with me. Why are you not choosing me, right? And now I can understand that people can love each other wholeheartedly and just not be aligned in that season of their lives. And for me, and love looks a whole lot less possessory now than it used to look when I moved out here, and the way I understood it back in 2021. Like, for me now, love is an experience. Like, it's an entire experience, and it's a way of being, and it's a way of life. And that is how I experience my friendships. It is how I experience my romantic connections. And having that perspective, having that shift, has allowed me to date from a space of being whole within myself and not being attached to any outcomes, and allowing people to be who they are and not wanting to fall in love with their potential or who they could be or what they could be for me, but loving them exactly as they are, flaws and alls as they are. And it allows me to love myself in return, and vice versa. Loving myself unconditionally allows me to love others unconditionally. And so it just became this two-sided coin, honestly. Unconditionally loving myself and allowed me to unconditionally love others in my life and show up in my relationships in a way that was just a whole lot less possessory and a whole lot less attached to how things look, and more so how they felt. And being clear and grounded in what I needed, and setting boundaries was so hard for me growing up, like, and dating. I didn't know how to do that because I was a caretaker, and I didn't realize, like, how much people needed me and how people showed up in my relationships was determining so much of my worth and my identity. And I was identifying with that. And once I learned that I was doing that, oh baby, my life changed, like, for the better. And I learned that through experiencing love in the way that I do now. I feel like this one is way higher. And that only was able to come from me having a real, true solitude experience of experiencing myself and just myself, and nothing else and no one else in the way of that. Like, not having to split my time with anyone else or anything else, but just everything that involved Kristen. So that is why I think everyone should have a true moment of like being single for real. Like, just worry about yourself. Don't have no crushes. Don't like nobody. Don't think about nobody else. Think about you. Be selfish with you. Be selfish with your time. And do what is best for you. Period. And not at the expense of others. But definitely not at the expense. Like don't sit here and consider others at the expense of you either. Like, it's a fine balance to strike. Balance that I'm talking about when you're like, when I'm saying like take this fully single moment. But I think it's easier to strike when you're fully single. Like, it does not have to come at the expense of others when you're fully single, because you don't have to like be dishing out yourself so much. You need to just be honestly reserving yourself for you. I'm thinking this color or this color. I'm thinking this color. Yeah, let's do this color. It's barely showing up. Oh, I see it, but it's barely showing up. I like grew so much from that breakup, and my life transformed so much from that breakup. So I'm so grateful for my ex breaking my heart because I am who I am today. Well, honestly, I'm a combination of all of the trauma and good experiences I've been through. But specifically, that heartbreak was such a catapulting moment. And the beginning and the start of my healing journey. Yeah, I like that pink way better. I went with the second one on top. So pretty. My spiritual journey and my journey inward and loving myself fully and showing up for myself. All that has led me to today, to one of the most transformative experiences I've ever had in watching a movie. And you probably are not going to expect this and not going to be seeing this coming, because like, who the hell goes to Wicked and expects to come out with a like healing love experience, like romantic love experience? And this doesn't have to apply only romantically, which is the beautiful part about it. It can actually apply to more than just romance. I just happened to be seeing it from a romantic lens because I was going through something like emotionally that was romantic. And so watching Wicked, I had this experience which it's so interesting. I explained it to my best friend and she was just like in amazement and in pure awe. She's like, girl, what? She's like, nah, I gotta see Wicked. And I'm like, I know like people watch these movies and you're probably gonna watch it yourself and be like, how the fuck did you get here from that? She's like, yeah, but like it makes so much sense, and that's definitely such a Christian thing. Like, you would go to see something like Wicked and come out with such a beautiful transformational message about it. And so essentially, like, I saw Wicked, and at the end, spoiler alert, click off if you haven't seen Wicked and you want to see Wicked. At the time that this is coming out, why haven't you seen Wicked yet? And if you wanted to see it, why haven't you seen it? I shouldn't even give you a spoiler alert, because why haven't you seen it? It's so good. Go see it and then come back to this video. But at the end, in the defying gravity moment, so I saw it twice, right? And the first time I didn't, I enjoyed the movie so much that I wanted to go see it again. But when you watch a movie again, knowing how it ends, you get to experience the movie in a different light. And so when I was experiencing the movie the second time, you know, I had these questions like, but why didn't Galinda go with Elphaba? Like, it made so much sense. You see her throughout the movie. She's having this like this character arcing moment, and like she's growing, and you think for a second when she's like, if we work in tandem, that she's gonna go with Elphaba. Like, it makes sense. Like, she's gonna be a good witch and she's gonna serve the higher cause and whatever. And it probably would have been the most transformational path for her to pick. But Ariana actually did an interview, and I happened to see a clip of it, and I want to watch all of Ariana's interviews talking about Wicked, because I'm just so amazed at how much of a master manifestor this girl is. I actually use a lot of Ariana's music in my like manifesting playlists, because she is a really good manifestor. And so, are we gonna do a red lip today? Are we gonna do like a spicy lip today? I feel so pretty. Oh, let's go with the brown again. The brown was really pretty yesterday. So, before we get into the lips. So yeah, you have this moment where you're thinking that Galinda is gonna go on this journey with Elphaba. She's like having this coming to moment, and she is maybe going to choose a path that doesn't strictly benefit her, right? And Ariana does this interview where they ask her, is it because she's not strong enough of a witch to go with Elphaba that she decides to stay behind? And she's like, actually, I think that moment for Galinda was a moment of strength. It takes a lot of strength to choose yourself when you feel like you want to go on this journey with someone, and you want to go on this journey and you want to be with them, and you see this journey is so good for them, and you can see how it could potentially be good for you. But Galinda in that moment recognizes she simply does not have the skills and the skill set and the tools to choose like Elphaba. Elphaba is very selfless, and Galinda is very selfish, but she also has social power, social currency. She gets away with she makes her way with the things that she has and the tools that she has. While Elphaba doesn't have those tools, she's a very powerful witch on her own, which Galinda does not have those powerful witch tools. But she also does not have the ability to choose selflessly, right? That's not her path. That's not her journey, at least not then. And so, Ariana talks about how Galinda in that moment, wanting that path for Elphaba because she sees it's Elphaba's path, it's Elphaba's cause, and choosing to stay behind is actually an act of self-love, instead of where in that moment it could have been very easy to self-abandon. And for Elphaba, the same thing. Ariana doesn't say this, but like I flipped it, and like for Elphaba, it's the same thing. Elphaba is a very powerful witch. She has her mission, she has her goal, she wants to save the animals. But if she's so connected to Galinda and their story, she would self-abandon by staying behind in Empire City, in Wizard City, or Wizard, whatever it's called, Emerald City. There we go. And she stays behind in Emerald City to appease the wizard. And that would be an act of self-abandoning. So in that moment, it was the greatest act of self-love for both of them to choose their own paths and be rooted in that, and know that Elphaba, as strong of a witch as she is, doesn't need anybody to complete her mission. And Galinda recognizing, I want to go on this path with you, but that's just not my journey right now. It's not aligned for me in this moment. And if I choose this journey, it will be solely off of wanting to be behind you and be with you. And I don't have what it takes to even help you on your mission, right? So that just made me have this big aha moment. Like, I've been always a super understanding person when it comes to love and dating and just the way I see and experience life. And so rather than a moment of weakness, it's an act of strength. It's a moment of strength. It's an act of self-love when Galinda chooses herself in that moment. And a lot of people can see that. And we do go through that, right? I went through that. I've been through that. Where I'm just like, well, why won't you choose this path when you know it's the path? You know it's the path that you want to choose. Like Galinda, I would say in that moment she wants to choose the path with Elphaba, or she wants to be able to want to choose the path with Elphaba, and it probably would have been a lot easier for her to just jump on that broom and go with Elphaba, but it was harder and probably the best choice for her to choose herself in that moment. And that was just like a groundbreaking revelation for me, where I was able to accept, all of the relationships that haven't worked out in my life up until this point, but especially my most recent, love interaction. I accept people for where they are and when they can't meet me, but I have this radical acceptance about it. I don't question it, but I didn't have a deep understanding, right? And I think that scene in the movie offered me not just radical acceptance, right? Because I have that, but it allowed me to understand but sometimes that's not our journey. Sometimes that's not our path. And if it was, it will be, and it'll align in another way. And if it's supposed to end up that way, it will. There's nothing that we can do to stop that. The soul's evolution, we're gonna go through it. Our soul is here to guide us through our soul's evolution. And my hair's so pretty. Y'all, look at my hair. I colored my hair, by the way, if you can't tell. So it's whatever path we're meant to be on, we're gonna be on regardless. But in that moment, Alphabet recognizing and acknowledging, hey, these are my limitations, these are my weaknesses, these are where I cannot go with you because I just would not be of help. I would not be of service to you. Like, if anything, I'll probably hold you back, and it'll be a very painful, tumultuous journey for me to sit here and self-abandon. Although I want to, and I want to go with you, and I want this cause. It seems so cool. Like, obviously, the dude that she's in love with cares about the animals, and she like wants to care about the animals, which I'm not gonna say she doesn't, but she doesn't in the way that Elphaba does, and she can't choose like Elphaba can, and so she doesn't have the superpowers that Elphaba has. So it was her call to stay behind. And so I'm gonna finish my hair and lips off camera, but I just want to wrap up this little piece where, like, seeing that movie and having that experience in that moment allowed me to be so grateful and appreciative of my last experience. That was one, it was really painful, but it was painful, but I accepted it. But I gained clarity, and I was able to accept it from a different space and see myself as Elphaba, as someone who has to choose her path. And sometimes that means leaving people behind, and not behind in the sense that like I'm ahead of you in life, or I have to leave you behind on your journey, and I have to continue on my journey. And so while our journeys were going like this, there's come a time where there's been a fork in the road, and my journey goes this way and your journey goes that way. And you choosing that journey is not you not choosing me, but it is you choosing you in that moment. You choosing yourself in that moment. And not me not being on that path with you is just collateral. Like, it just happened to be that way. You know, it's not like you don't want to choose me, but like you just can't. It's not aligned. And so, I don't know. It just gave me so much acceptance and so much like peace of mind for like my last situation. And that is where I am in terms of love and dating. And I am just not open to dating. Like I said, right now, I'm just enjoying life right now. Like, I got so much content to edit, and I got to study for the bar. I don't have time for boys. I'm just a girl, okay? So while this year might not have looked like finding a successful relationship in the traditional sense. Why is this thing not opening? Hello. Okay. While I might not have looked like finding a traditional relationship, a successful relationship in the traditional sense, it was about redefining what success looks like for me. This year, success has looked like healing from attachments that no longer serve me, recognizing and respecting my bounds and my boundaries and my needs, acknowledging that I have needs, because as a people caretaker, we put our needs on the back burner, and love has been so self-sacrificial all my life that like I just haven't been able to experience unconditional love, because my view of love came from a very conditional experience, at least for me. Like that was just my experience. And so learning that I did have needs, and it's okay to voice those, and it's okay to actually be like, no, my needs are not being met in this situation. I can't keep showing up here. And learning to prioritize my peace and my joy. And even if that looked like getting rid of a very like meaningful connection in that season of my life, like, and most of all, experiencing and offering unconditional love even when the outcome wasn't what I initially envisioned. Like, I was able to still have such a powerful love. Like, and I think that If it wasn't for my ex, I would not be here today. And I mean, I probably would still end up here because, like I said, the soul's journey is going to push you to have that evolution no matter which way. But I got here a lot quicker when I rode that fucking express train, the Pineapple Express in 2021 when we broke up in 2022. So that is kind of just where I'm at in life and love and all things content created. I'm really excited for this next journey of my life and to see where I'm headed. And I cannot wait to share that with you guys. And I hope you guys are coming along with my journey. I'm sorry this is a really long video, but it is worth it. If you sat through this video this long, I love you. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Make sure you go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you know when you guys post next. And check out my other content. Like, if you like me yapping at you, go check out my podcast because I do a lot of that. But that is more... It is in a different light. So all of my channels, all of my offerings in terms of content, I have a different angle. And so if you want to check out that angle, go ahead. The link is in my bio down below. I love you so much. I'm gonna show you guys the final look, obviously, but I just want to close out this video in case I do forget to show you guys the final look. I'll see you guys in the next video, and stay tuned for my January vlogs. I love you so much. Mwah. Bye.